topic, structure and bonding. So topic today is structure and bonding. Structure and bonding. So we have notes on follow our notes as we discuss structure and bonding. So we have two terms here, structure and we have a term bonding. So we want to look at what is the bonding. What do you mean by bonding? So when we talk about bonding, bonding is the combination of two or more substances, two or more elements combining, two or more particles combining. That is what we call bonding. So we have all heard about bonding, and look at bonding. So when you are combining elements, when you are combining atoms, we talk about bonding taking place. So you have structure. The structure is the arrangement of the particles. The arrangement, how particles are being arranged, how molecules are being arranged. The arrangement of elements to form molecules is what we mean by the term structure. So in the topic structure and bonding, we are going to look at how different atoms are combining, how different molecules are combining. We have different types of bonds that we are going to illustrate. So we have the types of bonds that we are going to talk about. Types of bonds. So we are going to have a bond called ionic bond. Ionic bond. Have a bond called ionic bond. So ionic bond will be forming a structure called giant ionic structure. We will be having giant ionic structure. Then we have another bond that we look at called covalent bond. We will also be talking about a certain bond called covalent bond. So in covalent bond, the type of structure that we'll be expounding on is called giant atomic structure. We have giant atomic structure. Also in covalent bond, we'll be talking about the type of structures called molecular structures. Molecular structures. We also have a type of bond called metallic bond. So we'll be looking at, in that topic, we'll also discuss about metallic bond. So a metallic bond will be forming a structure called a metallic structure. So we'll be having a metallic structure. Metallic structure. Then we will also discuss about hydrogen bond. We'll also discuss about hydrogen bond in that topic. On that. So these are the areas that we need to discuss in that topic. So the objective for today's lesson, we'll be discussing about an ionic bond. At the end of the lesson, we are supposed to know about ionic bond. We are supposed to show different ionic structures, and also at the end of the lesson, we're supposed to know about characteristics of giant atomic structures. So we have three objectives that at the end of the lesson, we are going to see if we have achieved them. Do you know about an ionic structure? Can you draw an ionic structure? And the characteristics of giant ionic structures. So we are going to start our topic with the first ionic bond, the first type of bond called ionic bonds. So an ionic bond is a bond between metal and a non-metal. It's a bond between a metal and a non-metal. So we talk about an ionic bond. This is a bond between a metal and a non-metal. A bond between a metal and a non-metal. So when we are showing bonding, we usually use dots and crosses. So in ionic bond, we show bonding. We are going to show bonding using a dot and a cross. So the crosses we represent it like that. Also, when you are in an ionic bond, what you're supposed also to do is electron. What you're supposed to know is that in an ionic bond, electrons are completely transferred. Electrons are completely transferred. Electrons are completely transferred from metals to the non-metals. Electrons are completely transferred. So this type of an ionic bond is a bond where we will be sharing electrons completely transferred from a metal to a non-metal. An ionic bond is a bond that is formed between a metal and a non-metal. And like we have mentioned, when we talk about bonding, it's the combination. We are combining two molecules. So that combination is what we call ionic bond. And in ionic bond, we have a bond between a metal and a non-metal. Let's have an example to show that what we are discussing. We have an example show bonding in sodium chloride. Show bonding in sodium chloride. So from sodium, is sodium a metal or a non-metal? A metal. What about chlorine? A non-metal. So when you are drawing an ionic bond, the first thing that you are supposed to write is the formula of the compound that you are preparing. So we have to know the formula. How do you write the formula of sodium chloride? So you have to write the formula of sodium chloride. That is the formula. Then after writing the formula, we have to know the electronic configuration of that element. You will always be provided with the atomic numbers. But for the first 20 elements, I know that you know their atomic number. What is the atomic number of sodium? One person. The atomic number of sodium. Sodium is at what position? Yes? 11. Good. 11. That would mean that the electronic configuration of sodium is 2, 8, 1. What about chlorine? Yes?
17.
Good. 17. Chlorine is at number 17. Atomic number 17. So the electronic configuration is 2, 8, 7. Then you're supposed to ask yourself, how many electrons does chlorine need to lose to form a stable ion? 1. And how many electrons does chlorine require to form a stable ion? 1. So sodium would require 1, will lose 1, and that 1 is given to chlorine. So when you are drawing an ionic bond, we use some paragraphs like that one. That is another thing that we do. Then we start with the metal. Here was sodium. Then the non-metal is chlorine. After you've done that, you indicate on top of that